Uh, oh
No,
my
they won't. No, they
God!
won't. What?
We did it. We had 1,000 subscribers. And I know that those are
Oh, really?
two
Let's
real human
go!
beings. If anyone unsubscribes, I will cry. Can we get one more subscriber just so we're comfortably over 1,000, guys? Actually, can we get like 5 or 10 more? We need a bit of a buffer because people are going to unsubscribe. I've been on YouTube since 2006, since I was in the 4th grade. And it's been a very integral part of my life and identity. I said identity weird. Identity for all the years following. I'm part of the generation that watched like this whole content creator and influencer thing develop in real time. And I was always someone who was very plugged into it. I watched all of the up and coming creators and all the videos, and I was just aware of the whole culture surrounding it. And I think one of the most confusing things existentially for folks like me who grew up during it is that we watched this thing that was a bit of an outlet for kind of like weird, potentially neurodivergent kids turn into like the biggest thing in the world. Like YouTube, obviously, for years now, but with each passing year, it becomes like the thing everybody wants to do, the thing everybody wants to spend their time on, the thing everybody wants to become a multimillionaire on. Like, let's be honest, that's the reason why a lot of people get into creating. Like, that is the aspect. They see these huge influencers and how much money they're making, and they think, oh, I can make a lot of money playing video games. I want to do that, you know, without actually understanding the nuance of everything that's happening. Look, this is a bit of a spiritual successor to a previous video I had. It was titled, "It Took Me 10 Years to Get 100 Subscribers on YouTube," which, yeah, by the way, that's pretty cool. It took a couple more years and now I'm at 1,000. Very awesome. And I want this to be a celebratory video for sure, but I also just like the most recent era of the kind of stuff I've been making. And certainly since I've been streaming 5 days a week on YouTube and Twitch, I just want to continue to pare back and be as authentic and genuine as myself as I can be, because I feel like historically, both in life, but certainly on the internet, that has been a weakness of mine. Again, like I've said, I've watched this platform grow and develop for years. I've watched new people come up and start posting and then watch them rise from small creators to the next big thing. I've watched that rinse and repeat what feels like hundreds of times at this point. I've noticed patterns that emerge in the platform and trends that emerge the way many people who actively create on the platform have, I'm sure, but lurking and in silence and not really actively contributing to anything. I'd say that for most of my life, I would identify more with how I think most of the internet engages with the internet, right? You're just a lurker. You don't comment on anything. You don't really post anything. You just watch stuff and you just engage with the stuff. And that's totally fine. Like if that's the way you are, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but in my heart of hearts, there was always this gnawing thought that was, man, I want to do that. Like I really want to be like these people. Like I want to do what they're doing. And even like back in middle school, you know, I have the classic story that a lot of people who've experienced the other side of success with this content creation thing had, where like, you know, they'd make videos with their friends back in school, you know, they started doing Let's Plays during the big Let's Play boom back when that happened on YouTube over a decade ago. I did that too. Every time I did it, something in my brain, even when I would post, I would talk myself out of continuing to do it. And I don't know what it is to this day. I don't know what it is, but that's the reason why I'm making this video, because I think that there are other people like me, like the past version of me, like a part of me that still lives in me present to this day. There's an inexplicable part of your internal life that just wants to pull you away from the things you want and the things you want to achieve and the kind of person you want to be. And I just want to say from firsthand experience that I've gone through, I hear you and I feel you, and it really hurts and it sucks. Being alive today, I don't think it's any big surprise to anybody to say this. Being alive today is really hard, and sometimes it's downright awful. All you really have to do, especially if you go online, is look around and you will find reasons for why it's awful. And so I think it's even more important for us all to just try and rise above it. And I'm not saying like we all have to be like these superheroes or anything. I'm just saying that I've been seeing a lot of stuff, not just online, but, you know, in real life, of people just kind of being resigned the way things are and all that stuff. And to be honest, it's something that I've always taken issue with, but it's also something that I've participated in. I've been pretty hypocritical about it. You look around and you judge the way everybody else is acting, and you fail to self-identify that you're doing the same thing. I ended up in a career that was good enough. I was a software developer for 4 years, and it served me well enough, but I still had this YouTube thing cooking in the background that I couldn't put the time and energy and love and patience that I wanted to into it. It's what they say, right? Like, if you spend all your time and energy on your plan B to keep yourself secure, that kind of takes away from plan A. I've heard that for a long time. I went to theater school. That's what our professors would say all the time. They're just like, you kind of have to go full in on this thing, because the second you get seduced by like a salaried position or whatever, and there's a degree of me that still believes that. And especially with the kind of results I've experienced over the past 5 months of finally streaming essentially full time, or the kind of hours and days and schedule that someone who is taking this seriously would, it's just completely shifted my whole paradigm on this thing. I think the hard thing about spending the majority of your life hating yourself is it's easy to self-identify the major ways that your self-loathing manifests. It's a lot harder to identify the subtle ways, the things that seem well-meaning when you talk yourself out of things because you think this voice in your head is protecting you from something, but really it's limiting you. It's making you sink back into your comfort zone. It's actually just afraid. It doesn't want you to put yourself out on a limb and really reach out to people and connect. It's this subtle, nice sounding voice that says, hey, what if we just gave this whole thing up? Maybe this isn't for us. Maybe we're barking up the wrong tree. Let's go the other way. But if you're anything like me, when you've listened to that voice, there's still that gnawing, really pissed off voice in the back of your head that's like, why do we give that thing up? How could other people make it work? Why couldn't we? You try to kill this part of you, and yet there it is in the back of your head every day, yelling through all the noise of a thankless job you don't care about, of coworkers you don't vibe with, whatever it is in your life. It's saying, why is it this way? Why can't we change it? Why aren't we good enough? Why are we doing what is easy instead of what we feel like we want to do, but is by no means the path of least resistance? This is understandably a very deep topic, and probably a conversation not a lot of people are ready to have with me, who's just talking to you through a screen, with yourself, or even with like the loved ones or people around you in your life. It's like a hard conversation to have, to really and truly introspect with oneself, yourself. I think we all kind of have a construct of what that looks like, and the things that are easy again for you to self-identify, you do that. But all the things that you truly need to identify that elude you, that are actually actively your obstacles in achieving what you want in this life, like how do you prescribe something for that? I don't think you do. I think it's hard work that I didn't want to do for years. Believe me, I didn't. I was someone who, a lot of my problems stemmed from the classic the therapy thing. Like, even my most recent psychologist, he was like, we can look at things from early childhood and we can use that to point fingers for why the way you are. But ultimately, like, having an explanation for something doesn't really solve the issue. It might give you some sort of seed of like an action plan of some sort, but that's what you need. You need the actual action plan to tackle this thing. If you have these deep-rooted belief systems of, I'm not good enough, no matter what I do, this isn't for me, maybe them, not me, you need something to tackle that, to dismantle that, to challenge it, to rise above it, to stop letting yourself just beat yourself up in this riptide of just negative thought spirals of how undeserving of anything you are. And I'm passionate about this because I feel like, in spite of all I've been saying, I feel like I've gotten a grip of who I am. I feel more comfortable sharing these parts of myself. Obviously, I wouldn't talk about this stuff if I didn't feel comfortable with it. But even then, there's a gnawing voice in the back of my head that's just like, oh, it's not that deep, da 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 da. But I just know that creativity and art and people's capacity to put their energy towards something that they love and that they're passionate about and that they want to share with the world, I think that really, if there's any kind of answer to what we're all collectively going through in humanity right now, it's that. And everything right now is at odds to make us not want to do that. A lot of people online are, they're looking for little cracks in your armor, little cracks in your armor, so they can stab something into it and expose you and make you feel small and belittle you. And when I see that, it's like, for years it scared me, and now I just see it for what it is. It's so cowardly. It's so sad. It's like those exact people obviously don't spend too much of your time and energy on them, but it's like it is not the cause, but the symptom of all the crap that's in this world right now. The fact that it can drive certain people to the point that they decide that that is the answer. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I turned on the camera and started talking. All I know is a lot of people are going to watch this video, or they're going to watch my streams, and they're going to look at me, and they're going to see someone maybe who got lucky. And for sure, I have gotten lucky. I've gotten lucky many times. But if you don't show up for yourself, if you don't wake up and just try to help yourself, whatever that may be. If it's just getting out of bed one day, whatever it is, if you don't try at the thing that you want, you're not going to get lucky. You can look around at the world and feel bad for yourself and just see a bunch of people who just like somehow are just luckier than you are, and you're the victim. You can do that. I did that for years, and I felt bad. And I did my own degree of what I thought was trying my best, and I still felt miserable. And nothing I say can guide you to this. Nothing I say can guide you to this. This journey of self-discovery that each of us is on is so infuriating because it's such a personalized journey. But my goal with this video is hopefully I can get through to someone out there who has been like I have been. And maybe this is part of the grain of truth that you need to hear to finally get your head out of your ass. If there is something you want to do, if there is something that is important to you, that you want to express, that you want to share with others, you don't owe it to anyone else. You owe it to yourself to live that truth, to speak it, to share it with the world. I know it's not a novel idea. I know there are a million videos like this, even on this platform, of people trying to motivate others. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do. I don't think I'm trying to motivate others. I am trying to connect. I'm trying to say, hey, I've been really hard on myself. And I have a feeling that if you're even this far into this video, you're probably pretty fucking hard on yourself too. What if you stop doing that? I draw stuff. The worst I feel when I'm drawing is when I draw a circle. I'm trying to draw a head and I'm like, this circle sucks. I don't want to draw anymore. Stop doing that. I make music. The worst I feel when I'm making music is when I play one chord and I start singing a note. I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't want to do this anymore. Stop doing that. I did the same thing with making videos. I would post one video and it would do well. And then I'd post another video similar to it and it wouldn't do as well. And my brain would be like, I'm going to throw a tantrum about this. My ego's hurt. It's bruised. This isn't for me. Yada, 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 yada. Just share yourself. When I was pissed off and I finally started posting on this YouTube channel, I have not privatized a single video I have posted since I started this true grind back in December of 2020. The channel has existed since 2010. I've posted videos in the time before 2020 that have been private and delisted. They're lost to time, whatever. But I have not privated any video that has been posted since when I was living in my dad's condo. I had just moved back home from New York. I'd given up on being an actor after going to theater school. I felt disenchanted, disillusioned, heartbroken. I was trying to figure out my plan B, and something in my head was, what if we finally tried this YouTube thing? What if we finally dug our heels down and committed to it? And guess what? I still didn't do what I wanted to do. But it was the first step. And yeah, if current me 5 years later could let past me know how much it would take of me to get to 1,000 subscribers, they would be scared shitless. I know some people are going to hear that and they think I'm being dramatic, but I am almost assuredly certain that some of you watching right now know how hard it is to show up for yourself and what you believe in and execute on it. If you're anything like me, it's really hard. First day is easy. Maybe even the first week, sometimes the first few weeks, sometimes the first few months. But inevitably, you hit that one spot, the first point of friction. You get further than most do, but you ultimately talk yourself out of it. So to finally put a capstone on this, the importance and significance of what is happening when I stream, when I go live, when I talk to chat, when I take part in this thing, this phenomenon that a lot of us take part in every day, whether you're a viewer, whether you're a creator, whether you do both, you do some mixture of it. The gravity of that is not lost on me. I think that this is a magical, mysterious thing that we all get to participate in. And moving forward for the rest of my life, I just want to be of service to people. I just want to do right by people. I want to be someone who sees how crappy and shitty life can be sometimes, and just I keep in my heart of hearts that I want to uplift and make others feel at ease. That's what I've wanted my whole life, and most of my life I've tried to convince myself otherwise. And I finally failed. And I've been able to rise above it, and I was able to remind myself how I felt when I was 3 years old and I was on the playground walking up to every single kid and getting to know them. I found that again. That's who I am. You might be someone else. That's who I am. I want people to feel welcomed. I want people to feel empowered. I want people to live their life and enjoy it and feel good about it. That's all I want. And I'm not always going to be perfect at that. Like, by no means should that be, if that's your goal, you shouldn't treat any sort of interaction with anybody so preciously. But that's me. Like, I want to be, and I believe I have the capacity to make someone's crappy day just a little bit better. That is what anyone who is a natural born performer, entertainer, I think that is in their heart of hearts. They just want to connect with others almost in like a non-tangible warm embrace and say, hey, me too. Let's figure it out. Sit here a while. Let's figure it out. So I've yapped for a long time. Obviously, we've been talking about me. I've been trying to talk about me because hopefully through me talking about me, we've also been talking about you. If we haven't been talking about you, you probably already clicked off this video. But I also really just want to thank everybody who is a member of my stream community, who shows up to my streams regularly, who's a member of the Discord, or even if you just watch my shorts when they come up on your feed. I truly sincerely want to thank you. And I know at this point, if you've been on the internet as long as me, you probably don't feel the weight of that. You're used to creators reaching a milestone and being like, oh my God, thank you so much. Up and up from here, guys. But it's like, I mean that. Like, thank you. And there's so many other people you could watch and that you probably do watch. And yeah, I just really appreciate it. And that's the greatest takeaway I've had. That has been my North Star through the past few months where I've really locked in on this thing. The reason why it's been easy is because somehow, and I have no idea how, I've formed this community of people who are just really kind and supportive of what I'm doing. They just I tell them that I'm trying to get 1,000 subs and that's the main goal, and they just support it. And they're just like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Which means a lot because I feel like for a long time I've gotten used to doing this whole thing alone, and now it feels like for the first time over the past few months, it hasn't been a solitary thing. So I just want to thank everybody for that. And yeah, it's also crazy because 1,000 subs obviously wasn't the end goal, but there were many past iterations of myself who just didn't even believe that 1,000 subs was possible, to the degree that those past iterations tried to be like, we can't get 1,000 subscribers. So if you want a perfect one-to-one, one size fits all, if you're someone sitting here right now and you're just like, whatever, this guy got lucky, or it's 2025, it's too late, just know I had all those same thoughts too. I've self-sabotaged myself more times in this life than I followed through on things. I'll fess up to it. If you need to hear someone say that they believe in you, here it is. I believe in you. Now, if there's anything stirring in you that can now have that ember lit in you to where you never need to hear anyone else say that to you again, and you can just hold yourself, hug yourself, and genuinely say, hey, we got this. Do that. Do that moving forward. Hold on to that. Hold on to what you just felt when you had someone else have to give you that external feedback of, I believe in you. put that in here, give it to yourself, and run on that for the rest of your life. Please. Thanks for watching. I really hope that whether you continue watching me, whether you go somewhere else online, or you do what's probably best for all of us, and you unplug your internet entirely, and you just live fully in the physical world, and you can find peace and ease with that, that's probably all the better for you. Whatever it is. Heck, you know what? Even if you're a hater, even if you're one of the people who have been, you know, you saw my face and you're just like, this guy's a piece of shit. I just hope the best for everybody. I know life's rough, and I truly do believe that I don't think any of us really hurt each other on purpose, but it happens all the same. I wish we could live in a world where everybody was happy and it was all sunshine and rainbows, the classic, you know, but I know that's not realistic, but I wanted to make it clear that as far as I'm concerned and what I want to do in this space and with this platform that I am slowly growing, I want to do right by folks, and I want to put the right energy into the world. And I just, I want to be a service. I want to use anything that I have for good always. So thanks for 1,000 subscribers. Here's to whatever comes next, which I don't know. I'm gonna have to stare at a wall for a while and figure out what the next move is, because this is, I mean, it's surreal. If you've ever accomplished something that you've literally been waiting your whole life to accomplish, you can probably relate. It's insane. But thank you, everybody. And thank you if you watch this far. And take care of yourselves. And be nice to the people around you in your real life, who you actually see in your physical space. There's a little action item. If any or most of what I said rings true, book a therapy appointment. Go to therapy. The only reason I've been able to become able to be aligned with this self-actualization moment of doing what I actually care about is because of years of talk therapy and other stuff like the eye movement. There's like an eye movement that helps with like trauma. I forget what it's called. EMDR. I've done a lot of work with a professional to get where I am. This isn't just like, you can't think yourself out of really complex mental health issues. You need to work with a professional. So get professional help. And two, be kinder and warmer to the people around you in your immediate life. And if you feel like you're isolated and I don't have any friends anymore, go to a park. And if someone walks by, just smile and wave at them. Just, I don't know, put some good energy out. And take care of yourself. Do not mix up your priorities. I know everything in this world is telling us like, but time. But money. The freaking Pink Floyd album. You only have you. Sorry, now I'm getting preachy. Now it's probably insufferable at this point. But please, as someone who has talked themselves out of prioritizing their mental health and taking care of themselves, again, if you need permission from the silly guy on the other side of the screen, prioritize that. And I know some of you are going to hear that and be like, how am I supposed to prioritize that? You're caught up in the noise. You're caught up in the noise. This is the true signal. If you feel broken or you feel a little fucked up, you got to fix yourself. You got to figure it out. You're not, it's like you're trying to clean a counter with a dirty dish rag. You got to clean the dirty dish rag. If your dish rag's dirty, clean that dish rag. And that dish rag is your brain. And you probably need to wash it off with a garden hose. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Thanks, everybody. Take care of yourself. I'm going to keep on streaming. Watch it if you want. Or if you don't, then never do that. Bye. Thanks for listening to me talk about stuff.